I'm good to go. Thank you so much. We're there. Thanks. So, good evening, everyone. So sorry I was meant to be here a few minutes ago, and we had a few issues, a few technical glitches, those kind of things. But we've got time now for a little Yoga Nidra practice. So if you're just tuning in, plugging in, I can see a few of you ready to go. You might want to get comfortable. You can sit for this. You could lie down. You can float if you'd like to. You can, hang upside down. Anything goes, but it's good to be comfortable. So probably one of the first two options, just sitting comfortably or laying down on the floor. And you could maybe have some comfy, cozy things to hand to be warm. It's December, and for most of us, wherever we are in the world, we may be feeling a little cooler. Of course, unless you're in the Southern Hemisphere, in which case you're living it large right now. So just have whatever you would like to have to hand to be really comfortable for this. Yoga Nidra is a completely accessible, no experience necessary kind of practice. Anybody can do this. Really, all you need to be willing to do is to do nothing for the next 15 minutes or so. So I'm going to turn the little heater off in the studio here, and then I'm going to begin to take you through the practice of Yoga Nidra. You take another moment to settle yourself in. So the first instruction then for this practice is that if at a certain point you start to feel, calm, quiet, spacious, if you start to space out a little bit and you can't stay with my voice, it's better to stay with that experience. Everything I'm going to say is really going to be pointing towards this state of being that's always here for everybody. But we forget, we get busy doing stuff and knowing stuff and becoming ourselves in life. So you don't have to listen to every word, but do stay with the words for as long as they're helpful for you. And then the next invitation is, how would it be just to give up becoming for this 13 minutes or so? And what I mean by that is that there's nowhere that you now need to get to. And there's nothing that you particularly need to do other than just stay with my voice and be willing to stop, surrender, let go. Do nothing. So you have permission for this time for you to do absolutely nothing. To not get anywhere. To not have any special experience, although it could be very special. The pressure's off. The first thing I'd love you to notice is why you're here with me this evening. What brought you to tuning into this? Perhaps you're tired, or you want to find some peace, or you'd like to connect with somebody that can help you feel grounded or at ease. But they're all my words. How would it be to take a moment for yourself to find your word, or words that have meaning for you, as to not just why you're here, but what you'd like to get from these few minutes together? Would you like to feel, peaceful, calm, grounded, whole, connected again to your deeper self? But if you could have anything, what would it be? And then once you know, say that word to yourself. Doesn't have to be out loud, it could be in the inner voice. Just say it, speak it down into yourself a couple of times. And then notice how your body feels about that, how it feels to say this word to yourself. If it feels good, then stay with it. If it doesn't feel so good, maybe you could change the word, change the language to find something new. And you can use this word and the feeling that comes to you like a touchstone to come back to any time over the next few minutes. And then start to pour all of your attention into your physical self. Feel your body. And this exquisitely simple feeling of your body touching into the surrounds, touching into the surface that's supporting the body, into the air that's surrounding the body, the touch of your clothing. And notice how this sensation of touch goes two ways, how the body is touching out into the surrounds, and the surrounds are touching back. And give a moment then to not think about that, but to feel it. Just this very simple sense of touching into the surrounds touching back. It's very intimate, very here, very present. And then take your attention deeper into the insides of the body. Feel how the body's breathing itself. And remember, you don't have to do anything right now, so you don't have to do any breathing. You can just trust that the body knows how to breathe itself. But where do you feel it? And while your mind might like to answer that question, just let yourself be lost in the feeling of it for a few moments. As if the mind and all of the thoughts and attention sink down into the breath, join with the breath. And start to notice these gorgeous little transitions that take place in the breath, how the breath turns around, breathing in, and the breath slows and then turns towards breathing out. And then breathing out the breath turns again, and there might be this gorgeous little space or pause or moment at the end of that breath. So let yourself linger in that. These little moments between the breath are like doorways where we can step through into a very deep quietness, deep peacefulness, deep stillness that's there underneath everything. And then notice how your body's breathing with that space that surrounds. Don't notice it with the mind. Don't do this intellectually. Just feel out into the surrounds. Feel out into the space in the room that you're in. And let yourself have this feeling of breathing as a really simple intimacy with life. Every time the body breathes in, it's receiving from the space surrounding. So there's an openness, a receptivity to allowing the breath in, allowing life in. And as you breathe out, there's this potential to feel that you're breathing out and dissolving out into the day, dissolving into the surrounds. Breathing out as if you were dissolving into the infinite breath of life. And let yourself have that feeling. Breathing out, dissolving. Breathing in, welcoming. Letting life move through you without the need to stop it or edit it or have preferences. Just let everything move through and out. Let yourself notice again that very simple feeling of resting into the surrounds, the felt sense of your body in this relationship. And follow that feeling back through the body and let your attention rest for a few moments in the very center of the chest. So not on the surface, but deep inside the very center of the chest. It's a really tender place if you feel into it, place where we feel all of the loves, the losses, And then that word you found at the beginning of the practice, whisper it down into that place. If you had this intention for rest, or to feel at ease, or to be peaceful, or whatever your word was, just take a moment to whisper it down into yourself and feel it as well as this deep affirmation to yourself. Very tender, very loving. And then there's nothing to cling on to. You don't need to hang on to that word. You don't need to try and hang on to any special experience, or, like I said at the beginning of this, there's nowhere that you had to get to. Even just lying down for 15 minutes with your mind whirring, that's fine. But whatever you did meet and touch into, have this feeling that you're bringing it with you back into life, back into the rest of your day or your evening, wherever you are in the world. Someone here from Chicago, South Korea, from Italy, from the Philippines. So we are really global. And know that there's people dotted all around the world that have just been practicing that with you. They've been resting their attention into their heart, feeling this tenderness for themselves, feeling this belonging with life, dissolving into life. So that's it. If you want to share something of your experience, I'll hang on for a few moments if you want to pop anything into the chat. But equally, you may just want to either turn off your screen and go and do some more of that dissolving again, or just stay with some quietness and some sense of kind of peace and calm. I hope you found that nourishing. I hope it really supported you into the rest of your day, into the rest of your weekend as we move through Friday here in the UK. And I hope that you can come back and do this again with myself or with one of the other teachers from EkhartYoga. If you like to practice Yoga Nidra, if you're curious in doing more of what we just did, you can go on to EkhartYoga and explore searching from Yoga Nidra. And you'll find a whole load of classes there from myself and some other Yoga Nidra practices from some of the other teachers on EkhartYoga. And then there's a whole host of other practices. You can come and, someone very playfully, when I was suggesting about setting you up earlier in a comfy position, someone said maybe in a headstand. So if movement yoga is more of your thing, then there's loads of classes there on EkhartYoga for you to dive into. Some of you saying, yeah, I'm just relaxing. I'm very happy about the lack of comments. That means that most of you are just lying down and enjoying that enjoying that sense of ease that may come from that practice. So stay well and happy, everybody. Great respect and love to you all. And do come and plug in again to do a little more of this with me or with one of the other teachers if you'd like to. Thanks so much.